It's Mr Veale here, and I'm the head teacher of Atwood Primary Academy, which is situated in Sanderstead in South Croydon. And today is Friday, the 3rd of July 2020, and we are finally in the last month of this academic year. And what a memorable one it's been. Now, I did something earlier for Moms and Dads, a special kind of information briefing YouTube video about the plans of coming back in 1st of September. But hopefully this one's a little bit more light-hearted, and it aims really to allow viewers to have a little glimpse into the wonderful world of Atwood. So let's go without further ado. I've got lots on my desk to get through. So news. Drum roll. We now have over 100 subscribers. Yay! We've done it. I'll let you into a little secret. My children at home, I've got Florence and Rupert. They're in years 2 and year 3. And, well, yes, they are a bit funny about the YouTube channel. They seem to think that I should have over 1 million subscribers and I should be doing daddy merch or Atwood merch, but we're not quite there yet, are we? And but I must say I'm really proud to get over 100 subscribers, so that's pretty good going, isn't it, in not too many months. And thank you for just taking your time on the gate. Say you find that the the YouTube videos are both informative and a little bit light-hearted. That's great, and that helps me. Okay, word of the week is hug. And there it is, hug, H-U-G. People have found ways of hugging each other during lockdown, like the hug tunnel made by a care home in Brazil. Some say the word hug was introduced by the Vikings, whose word hugger meant to comfort, but others think that the word began with the Germanic word hedgen or heggen, to surround with a hedge. So make up your mind. Not sure there. So this week in history, well actually yesterday, this week in history, on the 2nd of July 1964, the US President, so President Johnson, signs the Civil Rights Act. Now this is so much in the news, isn't it, still? So let's find out a little bit about that. So on the 2nd of July 1964, President Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act in the United States. So this act made it illegal for people to be treated differently because of their colour of their skin, their race, their religion, or their sex. The law was introduced because in some parts of the US, many black people were not treated the same as white people. In schools and restaurants and on buses, black people were not allowed to mix with white people. The Civil Rights Act made this illegal and said everybody should be treated equally. I know. Well, that was in 1964, and of course it's a never-ending battle, isn't it? That we get true equality in our society and true equity in our society, and we will continue to promote equality, certainly at Atwood, and hopefully that will go out into the wider community. Now, on that note, I found in the Week Junior, which I wanted to share with you. I have got to find it though. So it is all about what was known as the Windrush generation. So let's find out about the wonderful Windrush generation. But again, this is not without its controversy. So this is this week's special item, all about Windrush. So in this section, we're going to discover the outstanding contribution a generation and their descendants made to the United Kingdom. So on the 22nd of June, the United Kingdom marked Windrush Day. And this is a day to celebrate the important contribution the Windrush generation and their descendants have made to the United Kingdom. The Windrush generation are people who arrived in the United Kingdom from the Caribbean between 1948 and the early 1970s. This year marks the 72nd anniversary of the first arrivals. The Empire Windrush. After the Second World War, there was a shortage of people to do lots of jobs in the United Kingdom. So the government advertised for people from the Caribbean and other parts of the world to come and work in the United Kingdom, where the law said they had the same rights as people born here. In 1948, a ship called the Empire Windrush called at several islands in the Caribbean on its way to the United Kingdom. The ship arrived in Tilbury Docks in Essex, in England, on the 21st of June, and the passengers got off the ship on the 22nd of June. They were the first of thousands of people who would arrive in the United Kingdom over the next 25 years, and they became known as the Windrush generation. And there is an absolutely wonderful picture. Probably, I think it's a modern illustration, but there is the Empire Windrush, and you can see these wonderful people, absolutely beautifully dressed, coming off the Empire Windrush and setting foot in the United Kingdom. Most likely, for a lot of them, the first time coming to our islands. But there was a hostile welcome. When the workers from the Caribbean arrived in the United Kingdom, many of them experienced racism. Racism is where people are treated badly or unfairly treated because of the colour of their skin or their culture. They were sometimes called abusive names, denied jobs and housing, and turned away from churches and local social venues. Despite this, many people got jobs as cleaners, drivers or nurses, and helped rebuild the United Kingdom after the ravages of the Second World War. Making an impact. The Museum of London has released a series of interviews with people who made the journey. Sam King was one of those people who travelled on the Empire Windrush. King came to the United Kingdom because he had served with Britain's Royal Air Force during the war. He later became the first black mayor of Southwark, a borough of London. He was also one of the founders of the Notting Hill Carnival, a street festival held in London that celebrates Caribbean culture. But later there was a shocking discovery. The United Kingdom was badly damaged during the Second World War, and many parts needed rebuilding. One woman in the Museum of London interview said, "Well, when I came to London, I was so shocked because I thought it was so dirty and so broken down, and there was so much smoke coming out." She became a nurse and says the people she looked after, who were mostly white, were very hostile, very rude and very arrogant. She says this used to make her cry. So she decided to confront people and talk to them and explain to them about her culture and her background. And that changed everything for me, she says. The Windrush scandal. Back in 2017, it emerged that the UK government had denied many people from the Windrush generation and their descendants important rights that they should have had, such as access to healthcare. And in 2018, the government said it may also have wrongfully removed from the country or detained, which is to be held by an authority, more than 160 United Kingdom citizens of the Windrush generation. Theresa May, who was the UK Prime Minister at the time, apologised to those who'd been affected, and the government promised to resolve all the cases quickly. But 2 years later, many are still waiting. So what about the community today? Well, it's estimated that 500,000 people in the UK are part of that Windrush generation. And in 2018, the UK government announced that the 22nd of June would be the official annual day of celebration for the Windrush generation. And each year the government gives up more than £500,000, so £500,000 to charity and communities to hold celebrations and educational events. 2 sculptures honouring the Windrush generation will be placed outside Hackney Town Hall in London in 2021. So here we go, last bit of information, pricey passage. Some of the tickets for the journey on the Windrush cost £28, which is about £1,000 in today's money. And the Empire Windrush was used as a German transport ship in the Second World War, but it was captured by British forces. So even the ship had a lot of history. So thanks for listening to that one. That's brilliant. Thank you. Now it's that time of year again where we're thinking about coming back for a new academic year. We've barely got this one done, and We're thinking about next year. That's the way school goes, isn't it? But between now and then, of course, we've got a wonderful 6-week summer holiday, so let's look forward to that as well. Now, on Monday, I will be writing to mums and dads, letting them know which class is going into which teacher, and let's try all of that again. That wasn't great, was it? And on Monday, we will be letting mums and dads know the class allocations. So we will be letting them know who your next teacher is going to be. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag until mums and dads find out. So I'll probably film a quick thing on Monday, just a bit of a YouTube video about who is taking which class. I can't wait to share that with you. So keep your eyes peeled. And welcome back. Now, Mr. Glenn sent me some very important news this week, and I'm reading from my screen, so don't worry if I'm darting around and not looking at the camera, but this is from the organisation known as Sing Up, which is a national organisation that aims to promote singing in schools. And here we go. So primary music specialist Mr. Glenn, who teaches across 2 South London schools, and of course he teaches here at Atwood Primary, is sharing new ways of working online. So over lockdown, Mr. Glenn has been providing music provision for his pupils through a mix of online videos and live lessons in school, streamed to class whiteboards. And I know a lot of us have been really enjoying our singing taught virtually. In order to help him with this new way of working, Mr. Glenn has quickly and creatively found his way around programs such as iMovie, GarageBand and Capwing.com to create videos for pupils to watch at home and in school. And so Mr. Glenn says much of the work that I prepare is about infusing children to sing. He explains that why it has its challenges, namely that it feels a bit like teaching in a vacuum and that home learning platforms don't really offer much in the way of feedback. A number of grateful parents have been in touch saying that their children have enjoyed the singing the songs, and I totally agree. So well done to Mr. Glenn. It's been absolutely wonderful. I know I've benefited. I've heard the children singing from their classrooms, and they've been responding to your wonderful lessons. So well done, Mr. Glenn. Right, back again. I absolutely love a connection. So in the week junior for this week, we can see that massive monument is found near Stonehenge. So if you tuned in last week, we just did a general thing about what Stonehenge was, but there's more. So let's find out what's happened. So archaeologists have made a discovery of a circle of man-made holes around the site near Stonehenge. The circle is thought to be the biggest prehistoric monument ever found in Britain. Stonehenge is a ring of giant stones in Wiltshire in England. It was constructed, as we found out last week, 4,500 years ago, and to this day people have differed about their theories about why it was built and what it was used for. About 2 miles away from Stonehenge, a circle of large round holes have been found in the ground. They surround Durrington Walls, which is an ancient settlement where people who built Stonehenge lived. Although only 20 of the holes have been found, researchers think that there may be more than 30 in total. Each hole is more than 10 metres in diameter and about 5 metres deep. They form a circle that is 1.2 miles across. And so Professor Vince Gaffney, who was involved in the project, says that nothing of their size has ever been seen in the UK before. He adds that the size of the holes is particularly impressive, given that they would have been dug by people using bones, stones and pieces of wood, so no caterpillar diggers here. The discovery was made by a team of researchers from universities in England, Scotland and Wales. At first they thought that the holes, which had mostly been filled in over the centuries, had happened naturally. However, using technology that can scan beneath the ground, the team found that they must have been made by humans. By plotting these holes on a map, they saw a pattern emerge. Tests on the animal bones found at the bottom of the holes revealed that these were dug around the same time as Stonehenge was built, so 4,500 years ago. And experts have suggested that the holes may have formed a boundary to protect some kind of sacred area. And this discovery has deepened the mystery surrounding Stonehenge and suggests that there is still lots to learn. So maybe when you're older, and if you've got a fascination in history and you want to become, say, an archaeologist, you will carry on this important research. Let's hope so.
Now, it's only a short one today, really, because I did do that filming for mums and dads, and that took a little bit of time this morning. So, just wanted to end this special edition of our Head Teacher Partial Lockdown Vlogs with saying how lovely it was to see many more children back this week. And I just wanted to mark this occasion by saying a really heartfelt good luck and thank you for our wonderful Year 6. It's probably, their last day today more formally, and I think they've been absolutely amazing as a cohort of Year 6 pupils. You've been brilliant, and you have certainly had, well, a very memorable end to your primary education because of lockdown and so on. I personally wish you all the very best. You have been amazing, and it's been so enjoyable, such a privilege being your head teacher. You have made me laugh, you've made me proud, you've made me just want to do the very best job that I can for you. And I know that I'm going to see you on Monday the 20th, and I know Mr Dench and the team have got such a wonderful day for you planned. It's going to be full of fun and excitement, so the journey's not quite over there yet. I'm very aware what you've missed out on, and although I don't want to dwell on that, I don't think you get any kind of comfort from dwelling on these sort of things, but you have missed out on such a lot. But you've been brilliant, your mums and dads have been brilliant as well. I know that we've had to make some very tough decisions along the way, but hopefully it means that everybody has a fair crack of the whip and has some time in school before September. Now listen, have a wonderful weekend, whatever you're up to, and I will see you in the main, I think on Monday, or virtually over Google Classrooms or some such platform, and I'll catch you soon. Take care. Bye now.